the week, I would say. 225 on CBS. Chiefs, Bills. Game is at Arrowhead. The Bills are 3-point favorites, 3-point road favorites in this game. They're going back to a little bit of the scene of the crime where they lost in the divisional round last year in what was a fantastic game, one of the best games we've ever watched. I talked to Grant after. I thought if he was as close to a heart attack as he's ever had one. He finally was able to breathe. He didn't breathe for the last 20 minutes of the game.
It was awful.
This game is probably a game that could determine home field for the AFC.
Oh, without question. Because, you look at the AFC right now, and I'm pretty confident when I say this is just the class of that conference. The Ravens, they're going to have something to say about this in the AFC South. Vrabel is still down there coaching those Titans, so they might, be a thorn in someone's side come December. But, as of right now, with the sample size we have, it's Chiefs and Bills and everyone else. And this is going to be an explosive game. It's going to be a nerve-wracking game. Emotions are going to be high. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And like what Josh Allen said today, this is going to be football at its purest form. In Arrowhead Stadium, these fans are going to be rocking. They're going to be crazy. But, the Bills, deep down inside, they're going to love it. Because let's not forget what they did last year. Week 5 against this Chiefs team. They win Arrowhead, and they beat that ass. And then people thought that's when the tides returned in the AFC last year when the Bills won in Kansas City. So the Bills, they're not going to be afraid of the Chiefs, and they shouldn't be, because it's going to be two heavyweights going back and forth, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I think they got their Chiefs pass rush has to get pressure on Josh Allen, make him get that ball out quick, and the Bills, I think they need to find a way to run the ball. Chiefs have to find a way to stop it because the Bills' run game is still, I think, a little bit suspect. The pass rush is much improved with the Von Miller signing. And if they're able to get pressure on Pat Mahomes and make him run for his life, that's where he's showing his kind of biggest deficiencies is when he's good at getting the ball out, but I think sometimes he holds the ball too long and then he sees guys late and either incompletion, interception. And this is just going to be a dogfight and probably a preview of the AFC Championship game. And if the Bills win, it's going to be at, I believe it's Bills Stadium now or New Era Field.
We'll just call it Orchard Park.
Orchard Park, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chiefs win. Well, we'll probably get a rematch there in February.
Well, and one thing I'm interested for is week 1, Trent McDuffie, first round corner for the Chiefs, he left that Arizona game with a hamstring and he didn't play these last 4 games. There's a chance he could be back. And that's big because, during training camp, it sounded like he was the best corner out there for the Chiefs, that they've had. And it's nice, since he went out, Jalen Watson was able to go get some time, as a 7th round rookie and show some promise. But with Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, I know Isaiah McKenzie might not play, and their 3rd receiver, and with Josh Allen throwing Dawson Knox, you need as many healthy guys in the secondary as you can get. Because, the Chiefs defense this year, they've given up some long passes. And you know what? I'll be the first to admit that there was some great coverage, but just some better throws that Herbert had in week 2 to Mike Williams and the 2 that Derek Carr put on Devontae last week. That they were just beautiful balls. But if the Chiefs having that player back in the secondary is big, and then also, hopefully Frank Clark can return from this illness and he can play, Chris Jones can play, because it's going to take an all defensive effort to beat this Bills team. And your point, Dylan, the Von Miller signing, that's why the Bills signed Von, because you go back to the 2020 and 2021 games, minus the week 5 game last year, the Bills could not stop the run when the Chiefs chose to run, and they could not get to Patrick, and he had all day. And Leslie likes to sit back and play that zone, and Travis just eats them up. Travis Kelce just absolutely has dominated the Bills over these last couple of years. So if Von can't get home, that's going to be the one thing that's killed the Bills over these last couple of years. And this is going to be a game why they hopefully afterwards, the Bills fans, they say, this is why we saw Vaughn. This is why we signed Vaughn. They're probably hoping he can come out, have 2 sacks, maybe force a fumble, be in Patrick's face all day, get a couple holding penalties on Orlando Brown, excuse me, and then really put the NFL world on notice. Like, hey, we didn't forget last year. Instead of having to come here for the playoffs, let these clowns come out to New York and let's play.